What's up guys, welcome to today's video. I'm sorry it's up a little bit late, but I just got off work and I realized I didn't have anything for today. So I figured I would talk about my best tips for trying to put on muscle. Alright, so it's important to note that this video isn't going to be about the amount of sets that I recommend, or the amount of reps that I recommend, or percentages for weight, or loading, or overall volume. It's not going to get into specifics like that, but just more general rules for putting on muscle. A lot of people know how to put on muscle, it's not a crazy science, but this is going to be geared more towards the beginner. So I guess the beginner's guide to putting on muscle. And my goal with this video is to get people moving in the right direction. If you are an experienced lifter or experienced with weight training and you've maybe hit a plateau, you might be able to look at some of these factors and take away something and maybe be able to modify your program to keep making progress. Number one, first and foremost, if you are trying to put on muscle, food. Calories are your energy to build muscle and maintain muscle, all right? A lot of people don't understand what a calorie is. So specifically, a calorie is the amount of energy needed to raise 1 liter of water 1 degree Celsius. Your body uses it to fuel its workouts, fuel its everyday life, fuel your bodily functions, and you get your calories from food. Ultimately, if you are not getting enough food, and again, this is for the beginner, I'm not going to go into specific quality of food or, not even getting into macros right now, but getting enough of what you need to fuel your body. So if you're just starting off, make sure that you are getting enough food. Plain and simple, eat, eat, eat. So if you are just starting off, chances are you're probably between the ages of 14, 15 to maybe 17, 18, 19. And you don't really have to look at the quality of your food right now. Your body's going to be growing. Your body's going to be using up everything, mostly everything that you eat. I'm not saying like go to McDonald's and order everything off the menu, but just make sure that you're getting enough calories, all right? You can get into more, macronutrient tracking and flexible dieting and things like that later on, but for now, just make sure you're getting enough food to fuel your body. Number two, sleeping gets overlooked probably more than anything else I know, all right? So most of the time you're up early, most of the time you're up late. So you're not getting as much rest as you need to, okay? So sleeping is when your body recovers, okay? And if you're not getting enough sleep, you're not giving your body enough downtime, and you're training really hard, you're not gonna give your body the time to rebuild itself and get stronger and get bigger and keep building on everything that you've been working on. So sleeping. Everybody's allotment for sleeping and needs are going to be different. So again, I'm not going to give specifics on sleep, but make sure you're getting enough sleep. Make sure you're getting, I would say, bare minimum 6 hours. And make sure they're before a majority of your sleep, or a good amount, I should say, not a majority, is before midnight. The quality of sleep after midnight is not going to be as good as it would be for before midnight. There's a saying that 1 before is worth 2 after. So 1 hour of sleep before midnight is going to be equal to 2 hours of sleep after midnight. So there's some studies out there that say your body recovers faster and more efficiently before midnight than it does after. So it's more important to get more sleep before midnight than it is after. So again, beside the point, but just make sure you're getting enough rest. So, your body can put out growth hormone, your body can go through the repair process of the day before and probably even a couple days before whatever you're doing for your workout. So third, obviously your training, okay? Training is very important to building muscle, but I feel like the amount that you train is not gonna make a difference if you're not getting enough food or if you're not getting enough sleep. So that's why I put it third. For people starting out, and I know for me personally starting out, I didn't know really which direction to go. I was experimenting a lot. I didn't have, I was in school, I was in college when I really started lifting serious, so I was 18, 19 years old, but I didn't know exactly what to do. And nobody really knows exactly what to do, but we can give certain paths to go down. So my path for training is, one, keep it simple. Don't try to get too fancy with, all these crazy exercises. Keeping it simple, meaning do your squats, do your deadlifts, do your pushes, do your pulling, vertical, horizontal, get all the planes of motion, the big movements that are going to stimulate a lot of muscle so that in turn your body is going to need a lot of repair and a lot of growth. Don't just go in the gym and, you know, do bicep curls and tricep push downs and then sit on a machine and do leg extensions and leg curls. You know, you're going to want to do exercises that stimulate a lot of muscle so that your body in turn puts out more growth hormone, more testosterone, more insulin. You know, paired with your eating, paired with your rest, you're going to maximize that training. So really stick to the basics in the gym. All right, so like your lat pull downs, your rows, your bench press, your dumbbell presses, again, your squats, your deadlifts, your lunges, things that are going to use a lot of muscle. I know a lot of times those exercises are the last on your list, especially if you're starting out. You want to do the bicep curls and you want to do the triceps and you want to do abs, and a lot of people, I guess this talk, 30-second timeout here, but this talk kind of stemmed from a couple weeks ago when I saw these two kids in the gym working out. Okay, they're younger, I would say they were probably 15, 16 years old, and you could just tell they had no idea what they're doing. They were walking around the gym, just doing whatever, and there was no rhyme or reason to their workouts. And granted, it's good that they're there and they're doing it, but they didn't have direction. I think direction is huge when you're first starting out. And so when you go to the gym, yes, you're going to work on your main movements. You're going to work on the big compound moves to help use a lot of muscle. But at the same time, you want to do them with good form. And again, form and critiquing form is going to be, that would be a whole nother video. But a few tips on form would be just slow and controlled. Make sure you're feeling the movement. I saw these kids just, you know, doing half reps, and, you know, they were using a decent amount of weight for their age. And I didn't know the etiquette on like stopping them and saying, hey guys, can I give you a couple tips? I didn't know how they're going to react, and I guess you never know what to do in that kind of situation. But I was just watching them and it gave me the idea. I wanted to do this video for a while, and I figured this was a good time since I need a video. So number one, again, food. Make sure you're getting enough food. Number two, sleep. Sleep is essential for the repair process and making sure your body grows and gets bigger and gets stronger and gets faster, whatever you're training for. Three, your training. Training has to be efficient. If you're not working the big muscle groups, if you're not working them, again, at least twice a week. I don't want to get too deep into the specifics of weight training and making sure you're getting enough frequency, enough intensity, and enough rest in between, and things like that with pairing muscle groups or supersets or sets and reps and rest times and all that stuff. That's a huge other topic. But again, keeping this fairly simple, stick to the big muscle groups, making sure you're getting at least twice a week with each of your muscle groups. So I know a lot of guys starting out, they'll go in and they'll do one muscle group a week, one muscle group a day. And they're just not getting the frequency that they need. And so, again, just starting out, get at least twice a week for each muscle group, train hard, rest, eat enough. And I think those three factors, and, you know, if you've been, you know, training for a while and you haven't made as much progress recently, go back to these factors. Go back to, you know, look at your food, look at your rest, look at your training. Maybe your training just needs to be switched up a little bit. Maybe you're not getting enough rest. Maybe you've been busier lately and you haven't been getting enough food. You know, start tracking your food. Make sure you know exactly what you're getting, because if you don't know what you're getting, you know, you don't know where to go from there. So again, very general rules for, you know, making sure you're able to put on muscle. But I wanted to keep this video simple. I didn't want to go into crazy, you know, concepts with strength training and, you know, hypertrophy and periodization or whatever, pyramids. That's beside the point. But just keeping to these simple factors, I think, is going to help out a lot with your training. Keep it simple. Don't overthink it. And you probably make a lot more progress than you think by nailing down these three main points. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or anything below, I would be happy to answer them pertaining to anything weight training, really, if, you know, you want some more elaboration on anything I talked about. But leave a comment below, subscribe if you haven't already. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys tomorrow.